It was supposed to be a simple holiday, a music festival in Tenerife, a chance to escape the ordinary and experience something unforgettable under the island's electric skies. For Jay Slater, it was a break from the quiet routines of Lancashire life, a rare adventure filled with excitement and promise. But for the 19-year-old, everything changed one June morning in 2024. In a matter of hours, he vanished without a trace, leaving behind only questions and heartbreak. His last call was desperate, lost, dehydrated, his phone battery fading fast. He sounded scared, alone, and uncertain of his location. Then, suddenly, there was only silence. What followed was one of the largest search efforts Tenerife had ever seen. Helicopters swept the skies, drones scanned the rugged terrain, and volunteers from across the island joined the hunt, combing every inch of the wild Tenno rural park. But despite days of searching, Jay left no trace, no footprints, no belongings, no clues to where he'd gone. It was as if he'd vanished into thin air, swallowed by the mountains and mist. The lack of evidence made his disappearance both haunting and captivating. News coverage exploded across the UK and beyond. Was it a tragic accident? Was there foul play? Or did something even stranger happen that morning? Every theory was debated, every detail scrutinized. The story's details, mysterious new acquaintances, a remote apartment far from the festival, and a night that ended in confusion only deepened the intrigue. A risky walk along a narrow mountain path, alone at dawn, added to the sense of danger and uncertainty. For his family, it's a nightmare that won't end. Each day brings new hope and new heartbreak as they wait for answers that never seem to come. For the public, it's become an unsolved riddle, one that grips the imagination and refuses to let go. A year later, the questions are louder than ever. The case remains open, the mystery unsolved. Official explanations offer facts, but not closure. Investigators have theories, but no proof. The truth remains just out of reach. For those left behind, the wound remains open, the truth still hidden somewhere in Tenerife's mountains, shrouded in silence. The search for Jay became a search for answers, a quest that has united strangers, inspired hope, and left a mark on everyone who followed the story. And that journey continues, undiminished. Each new day brings the possibility of discovery, and the hope that one day, the truth will finally come to light. The world still wants to know what really happened to Jay Slater. The mystery endures and the search for answers goes on. Months later, after the initial shock had faded but the pain remained raw, the case returned to the public eye. A UK inquest was convened, aiming to bring long-awaited answers to Jay's grieving family and a community desperate for closure. The coroner ultimately ruled Jay's death as misadventure, a fatal fall complicated by hypothermia in the rugged terrain of Tenerife. There was no evidence of foul play, the court said, just a tragic accident, a young life lost to a series of unfortunate events. Toxicology reports revealed both alcohol and cocaine in Jay's system, suggesting his judgment may have been dangerously impaired that night. For the authorities, it seemed to fit a familiar narrative, a young man, under the influence, making a series of fatal choices that led to disaster. But for many who followed the case, the verdict felt incomplete, leaving a sense of unease and lingering doubt. How did Jay end up so far from safety, deep in the mountains? What compelled him to risk such a dangerous walk, alone and unprepared? Why would anyone, especially in his state, attempt a route known for its hazards and isolation? The inquest closed a legal chapter, providing an official explanation, but it left the emotional heart of the story unresolved. Jay's family and the public were left with more questions than answers, struggling to accept a version of events that felt incomplete. The official version explained how Jay's life ended, but not the crucial hours before, those missing pieces that could reveal what truly happened. For those who loved him, and for many still searching for answers, the search for the full truth was far from over. The silence of key witnesses has been a major obstacle. The two men Jay met at the festival, central to the story, never spoke publicly. Their absence at the inquest left a gaping hole. Why didn't they come forward? Fear, guilt, or just wanting to avoid the spotlight? Without their testimony, the timeline is incomplete. The investigation relies on fragments and speculation. Until these witnesses speak, Jay's final hours remain shrouded in mystery. Their voices are essential to the truth. Without them, the story is unfinished. Enter investigative journalist Mark Williams-Thomas with a bombshell, a mysterious audio recording. The tape, allegedly capturing people discussing Jay's fate, hints at a darker story. Williams-Thomas claims it suggests others know more than they admit. He's shared it with Spanish police, but so far no action. Is it unreliable? Or is something being covered up? The recording hangs over the case, a clue or a red herring. Until it's properly investigated, it fuels suspicion that the official story isn't the whole truth. The mystery deepens. For Jay's family, the pain is relentless. Led by his mother, Debbie, they refuse to accept the misadventure verdict. They believe crucial details have been missed and that others hold the key. Frustrated by silence and inaction, they're launching a documentary to present their side. It's a bold move, an appeal for new information and renewed public interest. For them, this is about honoring Jay and refusing to let the case fade away. Their fight is a reminder. Behind every headline is a family desperate for answers. The search for truth continues. A year has passed, yet Jay Slater's story remains unresolved, casting a long shadow over his family and the community. The pain of not knowing lingers, and the questions only grow more urgent with time. The official verdict may offer a sense of closure for some, but it leaves many searching for true understanding. Legal decisions can end proceedings, but they rarely answer every question. Why did Jay risk that dangerous walk through the mountains? What compelled him to take such a perilous path, far from safety? Who were the men last seen with him, and what role did they play in those crucial final hours? What secrets are hidden on the mysterious tape? These unresolved questions demand answers, not just for Jay's loved ones, but for everyone seeking justice. Spanish authorities must be fully transparent about any new evidence that emerges and keep the public informed as the investigation continues. Missing witnesses must be encouraged to come forward and their voices heard no matter how much time has passed. The search for truth should never end simply because a case is closed. Every detail matters and every lead could be the key. Public attention and collective vigilance keep the pressure on authorities, ensuring that Jay's case is not forgotten. Jay's story is a tragic reminder of how elusive the truth can be and how important it is to keep searching for answers. The search isn't over until the full story is told and justice is finally served.